There has been an abundance of coronavirus-related scams, and unfortunately, people are getting hurt. In some cases, people are dying as a result of these grifters exploiting the panic or the worries that people have about the pandemic. And in one case, a Las Vegas man has just gotten arrested after he was caught selling dangerous chemicals as an alleged COVID cure. His name is Elias Beltran Suarez, and he was charged with acting as a medical practitioner without a license after police learned that he was manufacturing and selling miracle mineral solution from his apartment. A woman had recently contacted Beltran after her 6-year-old son was diagnosed with the coronavirus, and police said the 53-year-old offered to sell her equipment to make chlorine dioxide for $800. So here you have a mother who's panicking, she's desperate, and this awful person decides to exploit her panic and her need to make her son feel better, her desire to make her son feel better, charges her $800 for garbage. Now, 6-year-olds, obviously, here he is, garbage person. I'm glad that he's now facing charges. I'm glad that he was arrested. I mean, but really, isn't this what Americans have been conditioned to be like? I mean, when you look at the behavior of the US government and how there's really no crisis that they refuse to capitalize on, you're gonna have situations like this where people are like, oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, doesn't it make sense to be a massive grifter in a moment of crisis? Now, 6-year-olds obviously can't get vaccinated. The vaccines have not been approved for people under the age of 12 yet. So they're still studying it. They want to ensure that it's safe, but that's something that people should pay closer attention to. The fact that vaccines actually go through a very rigorous process to ensure its safety before it's available, before it's out there. And by the way, the vaccine is free. Now here we're talking about a 6-year-old who can't get vaccinated, but for those who are still skeptical about the vaccine, are you also hitting up some dude in Las Vegas who's selling crap out of his apartment? Does that make you feel safer? Let me give you more. The so-called miracle cure, what was in it? Well, it contains potentially unsafe levels of chlorine dioxide, a chemical commonly used in industrial bleach. I don't know, industrial bleach, sold from some rando's apartment in Las Vegas, or the vaccine. I don't know. You wanna spend $800 on this? Have at it. But look, I also can't blame individuals, right? Like, I'm not mad at this mom. I'm not mad at people who are desperately searching for other solutions, because there's a giant amount of disinformation out there by people who have a vested interest in lying to people about the vaccine. And that vested interest is to sell whatever it is that they're selling. They're hucksters. There's more though, okay? He's not the only one. Then there's the self-described anti-vax mama who sold hundreds of fake COVID vaccine cards. So this was discovered by a TikTok user who goes by the name of Tizzy Ent, spotted an Instagram post that caught his attention. A woman with the handle anti-vax mama was advertising coronavirus vaccine cards with real serial numbers available to be mailed to any state for the low price of $200 a piece. Yeah, I mean, the vaccine is free and it prevents people from getting hospitalized. It prevents people from dying. Maybe that's a better option than getting a fake vaccine card, but okay. Manhattan District Attorney announced that the person behind the Instagram account, Jasmine Clifford, 31-year-old from New Jersey, has been charged with selling hundreds of fake vaccination cards. Some allegedly went to frontline workers, including hospital and nursing home employees. Those frontline workers should be fired. They should be fired, okay? That's it, they should be fired. I mean, do I really need to provide an argument for why they should be fired? They're using fake vaccination cards as frontline healthcare workers who are they're supposed to be keeping their patients safe. I mean, no, you're not gonna do your job. You're not gonna do the bare minimum of keeping your patients safe, because they're not just treating coronavirus patients, they're treating other patients. So what are they doing? You're using fake vaccine cards? And also, I don't know, I just questioned the judgment of someone who's literally a professional in the healthcare industry, but somehow isn't smart enough to understand that there are hucksters out there intentionally spreading disinformation about the vaccine. Like, if you're not educated enough to be able to make these important distinctions, then I don't know, should you really be tasked with caring for the health and well-being of others? I would argue no. There you go, I gave you an argument that they should be fired. But I'm not done yet. Nadazia Barkley, a 27-year-old, was also charged in the alleged conspiracy. Prosecutors allege that Barkley entered at least 10 people who bought the cards into the New York State Immunization Information System database. Okay, so let's pause for a second. We keep hearing about breakthrough infections. And so I wanna know if there's a robust investigation into people who have had breakthrough infections who maybe didn't really get the vaccine. Because if we have people who have access to the state databases on vaccines, and they're committing fraud and entering people's names in when they haven't actually been vaccinated, well, then how do we know that a person who gets coronavirus actually had a breakthrough infection? That's a little bit of an issue, no? I'm glad that this woman got caught, but how many others across the country are doing something similar? I don't know, and it should be investigated. A Chicago pharmacist was arrested and charged with obtaining authentic vaccination cards and listing them for $10 a piece on eBay. So, I mean, the grift that we're seeing all across the board, whether it be with unproven medications or like fake vaccination cards. I mean, how are we supposed to get past this pandemic? I feel like it's just never gonna happen. I feel like this is gonna be our reality forever because we can't get adults to behave like adults. And at the same time, there's a profit motive behind what they're doing.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.